of the crosses is for 1. Then, sir, on y-axis, how are 3 points plotted?
So this is just a hypothetical data. These are
Sir,
just
sir, for doubtful one, not linear
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. Doubtful means definitely. Suppose you have some value of x and some value of y. These values are there, but when you plot them, there is no exact pattern which is visible. In that sense, the values are there. Of course, suppose again you can draw a perpendicular from here to here. This is the x value and this is the y value. So the point is here, but the next value is here. Suppose. So if I join, or if I join, I want to join all the line here. Suppose, for example, I start from here. We may join like this, we may join like this, or we may go like this, or we may go in any random pattern. Suppose I join these two and then I go here, then I go here, then I go here, and then I go here. So you cannot visualize the thing that what is underlying in this graph. That means there is some relationship, but you are not in a position to classify it as a linear or a non-linear type of relation. So it is just like a kind of random pattern. The values are scattered in any manner, the way you want it, the way not you want, the way the data has come. So in that sense, of course, plotting will be there because unless and until you have xi, yi, you cannot plot it. But after plotting, there must be some pattern emerging out of it. And if there is no pattern which is emerging, you cannot make any sense out of it. Then it is very difficult that what it is you don't know. Yes, it is there. But then in that case, it is very difficult to measure the extent of that relationship, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that little bit comfortable?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay, fine. Good. Please keep on asking, don't worry. So anyways, what I was telling you just now that we are going to focus, if you look at the heading here, what we are going to discuss is the measure of linear correlation. At the moment, I am not talking about this, and this we will not talk, but we will definitely give some example from real life where we can have this kind of situation. Because in the real life, you have no control over the data. As I have said several times, that the data will come on its own. We'll discuss, don't worry. So again, bivariate analysis, what we are talking, this is just a visualization. But the scatter diagram, as I told you, the scatter diagram gives you a rough indication of the nature. Just okay, this is increasing, so this is increasing, and some idea that okay, if x is changing positively, y is also changing positively. It is not like the line coming like this, gradient negative, slope negative. No. So some idea we can get. But the quantitative measure that how much x is related with y, I cannot have any idea from this point, from this diagram. So the quantitative measure of the exact degree of correlation between the two variables is given by the correlation coefficient. This is the concept, which is the important concept which we are going to discuss now. So this is something like what we are going to talk that okay, this is giving me an idea and I want to know the amount of exact what is the extent of relationship. This is a great name, Carl Pearson. All of you should remember this name always as long as you are the student of statistics. He has contributed a lot, and therefore sometimes people call in the literature this is known as Pearsonian coefficient of correlation, just in the honor of Professor Carl Pearson. That is what I have written. That is why sometimes it is known as the Pearsonian correlation coefficient. Now, as I have told you that there is a concept of population and there is a concept of sample in statistics. See, again, you can talk population of anything. Say, like it may be the population of human being. Say, suppose you consider Vadodara city. There are 26 lakhs people are living here. And if you want to conduct a survey on some characteristics of the people of Vadodara city, then okay, it will take a lot of time and money and effort, but we can do it. As you know that I think I have mentioned in one of my previous lectures that what we call as that there is a census by the government of India, and that census you know that it is conducted every 10 years because 135 crore people now, of course, to count and record and make a complete data set available, it's very gigantic task. So anyways, there is a population, and from that population, you can always take a sample. Say, for example, MSU. Now, there are certain notations, standard notations. If you want to talk about population in the correlation in the population, it is denoted by rho. This is the notation, like this, where my cursor is moving. and it is pronounced as rho, R-H-O, rho. This is just like a Greek letter, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, mu, psi, xi, theta, eta. जैसे आपका ABCD है या कक्को बारह खड़ी से जम गुजराती में. So this is just denoted by rho. And if I take a sample from the population and if you calculate the correlation for this sample, this is denoted by small r. This is again English alphabet and that too lowercase. So this is just a notation that for population it is denoted by this. It is in sample denoted by this. We will be discussing only the sample part only, sample correlation coefficient. So this is the notation, but what is the definition? How do you define? So now I am going to introduce a new word here for the first time. See, if you recall our last week's lecture or when we were discussing about the measures of dispersion, see, you had only one variable there, as I told you, say height. So what is the difference in the height of these students? Say suppose you calculate the variance and you say that that is say 2.5 inches. That means every student from this university or this college will have a variation amongst them like 2.5 inches का मतलब plus minus जो average height है उससे 2.5 इंच का difference हो सकता है. But now you have the data on X, you have the data on Y. Now there is something like X itself is a variable, so it will vary on its own. Y itself is also a variable, so it will vary on its own. Again, I have just told you the idea of word co. Co means together. So now we want to know, sir, what is the variability in X and Y taken together? Say X will change, Y will change, no doubt about it. But can we say something about that if X changes, Y also changes because of the changes in X or vice versa? Like your pressure changes because of the volume changes, or I can say because volume changes because of the pressure changes, something like that. So X, Y, Y, X is your notation. But the idea here is that we are talking about now the variability of two variables together. And the moment you say two, the word co will come. And I will define what is covariance. So, what is the
If there is
definition?
relation between
Huh.
them, then it changes simultaneously.
Yes, yes, yes. If there is a relation, it may happen, may not happen. Actually, आप एक कदम आगे चले गए. It's good at the moment for the at the moment understanding if there is a change in one which affects the changes in other, then there is some covariability. That is there, of course. Covariance का मतलब ही है कि एक साथ बदलना. But there may be some situation X is changing, Y is not changing at all. It may happen. But at the moment, I don't want to discuss that. At the moment, I just want to say that there is some variability together. Try to understand the basic concept because you know what is variance of X. आपको पता है. Similarly, just I change the notation. X के जगह Y ले लें, तो Y is another variable, and I can have univariate data which is denoted by Y. Nobody can stop me. But if we have X and Y both, so we'll have okay variance of X, variance of Y. We have mean of X, we have mean of Y. And apart from that, we will have added quantity now or a new quantity now, which is the covariance. That means how the variable X and Y are changing together. That's what I have written just below. Where covariance of X and Y, which is abbreviated means short form, will be COV dot, just OV, XY. What it is a important part. It is a measure of joint variation, जो मैंने आपसे अभी कहा. It is a measure of joint variation in X and Y. And what is the formula? This is the formula. Now, if you look at this formula carefully, if you are writing the variance formula, आप क्या लिखते थे? Because that was a single variable, there was no y, हम इसको सिर्फ square कर देते थे. But what is a square? You know, xi minus x bar into xi minus x bar. I can always write, no, what is a square? A square is just a into a. Similarly, xi minus x bar is square with xi minus x bar into xi minus x bar. But now, sir, one is x and another is y. So we have to multiply them together. So this is the mathematical formula which you have to remember. What is the formula for covariance? Sir, it is 1 upon n. Summation I is equal to 1 to n xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. Variance formula you know. Okay. Now notations are slightly changed, and if you recall, we have used the notation sigma x square or sigma x. So for population, as I have just told you, of course, we are not going to talk much about it, but at least in notations we can write. So what is rho? Sigma xy. Sigma xy is the notation for the covariance between x and y. And under root variance means this is actually is SD, or your standard deviation. So square part has taken care of because of this square root. So you can write sigma x, sigma y. This is the mathematical formula for the population. And for the sample, just we replace sigma by S. So always remember one thing. S square is sample variance, sigma square is population variance. This notation I have already told you while we were discussing the measures of dispersion. So this is just in notation. What is the mathematical formula which we will be using for the data given? And of course, maybe you will be doing the practical also. So sir, what is the formula? It is this. Just you have seen here, we have written the same thing here. So 1 upon n, of course, if I have not written, but you can understand, summation I is equal to 1 to n hai, xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar divided by square root of 1 upon n. This is just variance of x, and just replace x by y, so it becomes variance of y. Now 1 upon n is in the under root here, and here it is without root, and it is in the denominator, so it gets cancelled. And we can write the same thing as computational formula. This is also correct, but for computation purposes, we can simplify it like this. This just takes summation sign inside, and you will get this formula. This is simply summation xi yi minus n times x bar y bar divided by summation xi square minus n times x bar square. This I have told you that this is the computational formula for the variance of x. For variance of y, you don't have to do anything, just replace x by y. You just get it here. So this formula, where my cursor is moving, you will be using it for computation in your practicals. So this is how. Now what will happen, as I told you, that we will start with a bivariate data. Means now the data for xi yi will be given to you, the two columns. I have not shown here, but I can make two columns, xi yi, and then I can find out third column, xi yi product, and then take the summation of these three columns. So first column will give me summation xi, second will give me summation yi, third will give me summation xi yi. Now in the first column, divide by n, you will get x bar. In the second column, you divide by n, you will get y bar. N is the number of observations which you know. So that's it. And if you want, you can make another two columns like square of these values, xi square and yi square. So 5 columns in all at the most in the computation of your practical. Now you can substitute all these values here, and you can get the value of r. It will come some value. It will come some value. But as you have seen that there are two things which we are writing in the numerator and in the denominator. So when we say something like this, a divided by b or something divided by something, it is coefficient. What is coefficient? Some ratio, right? So if it is a coefficient, so we have to use the word correlation coefficient. Why we are calling it coefficient, sir? Now I can answer. Because it is the ratio of two things. So therefore it is a coefficient. And it is the coefficient of what? It is the coefficient of the relationship. So hence the name. Correlation coefficient को correlation coefficient क्यों कहते हैं? That is what I am telling you. Now this is not there in the book. This comes in the one-to-one discussion. That why correlation coefficient is called correlation coefficient. In none of the book you will find this discussion. So it doesn't matter because it is a ratio, sir. I can understand. Now think of a situation. Suppose x is your height and y is your weight. So x will be in inches or centimeters, and if weight is there, say it will be in pound or kilogram. So actually you will get the unit of measurement also here. Just like in variance of x, suppose x was the height, so the value of the whatever you will get, suppose 2.5 centimeter square or 2.5 inches square, whatever. So that unit is there. Now what will happen, because suppose x unit here, y unit here. Now again under root here, so the unit of x का under root आएगा यहाँ पे, and here you will get the unit under root square of the unit of y. Suppose it is centimeter kilogram. Here also denominator also will get centimeter kilogram. That will get cancelled. And once it gets cancelled, that is what my note is. It is very important, very, very important, that because R is just a ratio of two things, hence it is independent of the units of measurement of X and Y. Now this is something, a very great property. Once you have something which is free from unit, or which is called a unit free measure, it is very easily used for comparison purposes. Otherwise, you always, I have told you that if you have one variable in one unit, another variable in another unit, you cannot compare logically. You cannot compare centimeter with kilogram. So if you recall, in the measures of dispersion also, the last measure which we discussed was the coefficient of variation. Again, the word coefficient. Why it was coefficient? Because, sir, it is the ratio of sigma and x bar. By what is the definition of CV? Sigma upon x bar into 100. This is just a way to express in terms of percentage, not necessary to multiply by 100, but it's a customary. So it is very important, if you want to compare any two things, the measure should be unit free. And this formula itself tells you that correlation coefficient is free from, yet is independent of units of measurement. This is very useful property in real life situations. So this is just the idea. This is the concept, definition, and this is the mathematical formula. Now we are going to discuss certain very interesting properties of the correlation and the idea of correlation, how much it is useful in the real life situation. But we have to remember one thing more. What is that? This is very important. I'll cover 5-6 remarks, but the first one is, as I mentioned above, that this R, small r, indicates the extent of or the intensity of only linear relationship between x and y. But in real life, you cannot restrict that the relationship between x and y is linear. You know, a classical example which I have given, I'm going to talk, is that there may be x and y, two variable, and they may be perfectly related, but may not be linearly related. And even then, if you find out the value of the correlation, let us see what will happen. So this is again a very, very classical example of correlation being zero, but there is a perfect relationship between x and y. Yes, the relationship between x and y is non-linear. Now I will just ask you, or I will just want to know, what is the equation of circle? How do you write down this equation of circle?
X square by a square plus y square by b square equals to 0.
Ah, come on, this is not circle.
This is ellipse. Okay.
और वो हाँ
1 minute.
x minus a whole square plus x minus b square equals to r square.
अरे यार, तुम लोग कहाँ से 12th पास कर रहे हैं?
सर एक मिनट.
4ab square y is equal to 4.
हाँ, एक मिनट, एक लड़की बोल रही है कोई. हाँ बोलो
x
बेटा.
plus y square is equal to r square.
परफेक्ट, परफेक्ट. क्या नाम आपका? क्या नाम बेटा आपका? हाँ, बोलो बोलो.
पूर्णा.
पूर्णा. ओके, वेरी गुड आंसर पूर्णा. परफेक्ट आंसर. x square plus y square is equal to r square. As simple as that. Don't get confused भाई. स्कूल भूलना मत. स्कूल हमेशा याद रखना. बार बार मैं रिफर करूंगा आपको. So fine, good. X square plus y square is equal to r square. Now suppose I take r is equal to 1. That means we are talking about a circle whose radius is 1. Okay. So if it is 1, I can suppose now forget about for a moment this circle and all that kahani. It is already here. X square plus y square is equal to 1. Now if I plot, look at here. This is your origin. यहाँ मेरा cursor है 0 0. This is my point 1 0. This is my point 0 1. This is my point minus 1 0, and again minus 1 minus 1. So what I can say, suppose this is my data bhai. X is 1 0 minus 1 0. Y is 0 1 0 minus 1. This is some data, as you said, sir. X data, Y data. So this is a bivariate data. Now, as I was telling you here, just suppose you have to calculate the correlation. आपको क्या क्या चाहिए होगा? xi yi तो है ही आपके पास. Total column आपने बना लिया, and you make one more column xi yi. Now look at here, xi square, yi square and xi yi. ये सारा डेटा आपके सामने है. बहुत छोटा सा डेटा लिया है. But this is a classical example. Now you know that this is x bar 0, y bar 0. वो तो बाद की बात है. लेकिन what about summation xi yi? सर जीरो ही है ना, तो ये जीरो सब खत्म कहानी. तो क्या मिला? वैल्यू ऑफ आर तो आपको मिली जीरो. तो आप क्या कहेंगे कि देयर इज नो रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन एक्स एंड वाई. बट ऑन द कॉन्ट्रेरी देयर इज अ परफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन एक्स एंड वाई. एक्चुअली दे आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग ए यूनिट सर्किल. So this is very important. Always when I say important means important concept wise important from the point of view of your exam. Because first year में ही नहीं, even till MSc I have seen students are much worried about sir exam में क्या आएगा. So I always tell them don't worry about your exam. Try to understand the concept. Exam में कुछ भी आएगा उससे क्या लेना देना आपको समझ में आना चाहिए. So this is a very classical example where I always used to ask this type of question, that give me an example where the relationship between x and y is perfect but the correlation between them is zero. So what is the message? The message is the correlation which we are discussing here will measure only linear relationships, sir. It will not measure the non-linear relationship. In the sense that if the relationship is x square plus y square is equal to 1, r square, r is 1 suppose, this is a perfect relationship between x and y, but r, the value of r is coming out 0. So be careful. This is a very important message which people don't even remember at their TY or MSc level. That whenever I ask this question, that correlation coefficient, Pearson correlation coefficient, don't forget to use the word linear. I am emphasizing it third, fourth time. That Pearsonian correlation coefficient is a measure of linear relationship only. If the relationship is not linear, we will see what can we do. So I hope the message is clear. So what is the idea? The idea is very simple, sir. These xi yi, ये रहे xi yi, lie on the circumference of a circle. This is the circle on the circumference. What is the circle? Sir, x square plus y square is equal to 1. That is, there is a non-linear relationship between x and y, but r is equal to 0. Of course, there is a perfect circular relationship between x and y. So this is what you should not forget. This is what you have to remember always when we talk about the correlation. So this is my first remark. What is the second remark? Zero correlation does not imply, suppose r is 0, आपको यहाँ मिला ही है r is 0, तो आप तो कहेंगे कि x and y are independent, मतलब x और y में कोई संबंध नहीं है. Independent का मतलब क्या होता है? If x changes, y changes or not, doesn't matter. Or vice versa. If y changes, x will change or not, doesn't matter. That is the idea of independence. That is what you study in probability theory. आपने बताया कि आपने probability theory पढ़ा है या पढ़ेंगे. There are two events A and B. They are said to be independent. When the occurrence or the non-occurrence of one event does not affect the occurrence or the non-occurrence of the other event. In that sense, A and B are independent. So same is the story here. But what is the message? If the correlation is 0, it does not imply that there is no relationship or they are independent of each other. This example conveys this message also. R is 0. Yes. But are they independent? No, sir. On the contrary, they are perfectly related. So remember, this is one message. But what is vice versa? It is not true. However, important point. However, if the two variables are independent of each other, their correlation coefficient will be 0. Because in that case, if the variable are independent, their covariance will be 0. As I just mentioned, that if x changes, y will change or not, it doesn't matter. So in that case, there is no covariability. always remember the concept of co-variability. Co means together, x and y changing together, but if they are independent, it does not affect. X is changing, y is not changing, or y is changing, x is not changing. So that is the idea. This is a very, very important remark which you have to print in your mind. Of course, we'll upload all these notes. Maybe let me cover up to certain point, as you know my nature. Now, is this example clear before I proceed further? यहाँ तक बात समझ में आती है आपको? What I am talking or what I am trying to convey? Any doubt to anybody? किसी को भी कुछ भी पूछना है अगर?
No, sir.
Hello. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. That is what I okay. That is why always actually I miss. If it was a class, I could have seen your faces and I can guess whether you are understanding or not. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so now actually I am coming to that point where some of the students, just one student she raised, sir, what is this doubtful? Sir, ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा. इसके लिए मैंने I told you that I will talk. Yes, there is something. I am not very sure about it. But see, this is a classical example. Let me tell you. Spurious or nonsense. What is literal meaning? Have you heard this word spurious? ये word सुना है आपने? English word है. Spurious means what? Literal meaning. Forget about the mathematical or statistical interpretation.
Something which is not right. ऐसा कुछ.
Okay, हाँ ऐसा कुछ ही है. Something which is not right. ये something which is not correct. Spurious. जैसे आप बोलते हैं spurious का वैसे देखोगे अगर आप मीनिंग तो spurious का मतलब होता है नकली, not real. जैसे आपने कहा ना समथिंग नॉट राइट, करीब करीब वैसी ही बात है, राइट. स्प्यूरियस मीन्स इट इज देयर बट एक्चुअली इट इज नॉट देयर, राइट. सो नाउ मैथमेटिकली इट इज जस्ट ए मैथमेटिकल एक्सरसाइज इन द सेंस दैट से जैसे मान लीजिए आपका ये फॉर्मूला था, यू नो दिस फॉर्मूला x y x I y I. I can always calculate. This is just a very small illustrative data for some purpose, but you will do the practical. That means here there आपको x का data और y का data दिया. Now imagine that the variable x is your IQ. What is IQ? Have you heard this word? IQ word सुना है आपने? लोग बोलते हैं इसका IQ बहुत कम है या इसका IQ बहुत ज्यादा है, या व्हाट इज IQ या एनी कोएफिशिएंट. हैव यू हर्ड? आजकल तो इतने चल गए हैं कि कुछ पता ही नहीं. एनीवन?
मतलब सर IQ पता है, वो तो मतलब इंटेलिजेंस क्वोशिएंट.
वेरी गुड. इंटेलिजेंस क्वोशिएंट. IQ stands for intelligence quotient, right? हाँ. Now there are, as I told, तो मैं आपको एक दो बताता हूँ. IQ के बाद आजकल लोग बात करते हैं EQ की, that is called emotional quotient. उसके बाद लोग बात करते हैं SQ की, that is called spirituality coefficient. So many things are there. मुझे उस पर नहीं जाना. But suppose now, just for an example, X is your IQ, which is measured in numbers, right? And suppose Y is the size of your shoe. कि आप कितने नंबर का जूता पहनते हैं. That also you know. You go to a shoe shop and then you say that कि भाई मेरा पैर 7 नंबर का है या my shoe size is 8 नंबर, तो आप 8 नंबर का जूता लेते हैं या चप्पल या सैंडल या जो भी. So now imagine X is IQ and Y is the size of the shoe and you calculate the correlation. Of course nobody can stop. I have X data, I have Y data, and there will be some value. But what is the interpretation? That means if suppose my shoe size is more, I am more intelligent. Does it like that? जिनके पैर बड़े होते हैं क्या वो ज्यादा बुद्धिमान होते हैं?
नहीं सर.
No,
ऐसा तो कुछ है नहीं.
sir.
हाँ बोलो बोलो. कोई एक लड़का कुछ बोल रहा है. हाँ बोलो बोलो बोलो. Some student was, some boy was trying to say something. See, what I am trying to tell you that, see, you have to be very, very careful about the kind of discussion which we are doing. Say for me, just X and Y is the data. Okay, sir, fine. X is my IQ level and Y is the size of the shoe. And if I put all these values here, I can get some value of the correlation between size of shoe and the IQ. That there is a correlation, but that is not a correlation in the real sense. That is a spurious correlation. That is what somebody was saying, some girl was saying, that it is not real, actually, not actual. That is spurious. So this is just an academic interest, that please do not think that just put it like garbage in, garbage out kind of a thing. Whatever is my X data, whatever is my Y data, I can calculate mathematically, but the most important part, which I will be also much focusing on, is your interpretation. Okay, sir, I have got some value. How to interpret? That is most important part of a statistician, or nowadays you are known as data scientist. So we should not consider such kind of course, data is there and I can find out, but it makes no sense. So there are some, this is on the lighter side. आपको हंसी आएगी सुन के कि ये क्या है, size of the shoe and IQ, या से correlation between weight and education. जिसका वजन ज्यादा है तो क्या वो PhD कर लेगा या वो डॉक्टर इंजीनियर हो जाएगा. So weight is one variable, education is other variable. Or say very interesting correlation between yield of potato and marriage. जिस साल ज्यादा बटाटा पैदा हुआ उस साल लोगों ने ज्यादा लगन किया, ऐसा है कुछ क्या? दिस ऑल नॉनसेंस. हाँ बोलो. सॉरी, आप बीच में रुक जा रहे हैं. Want to ask something? Sorry. Hello. Okay, so don't worry. You can ask later on also. Doesn't matter. Sorry. So this is just an academic interest. This is why I've just said, and there may be so many examples from real life that you are talking about nonsense. This is a nonsense. What is this? But we can talk about mathematically. अगर आप mathematical jargon की बात करें या calculation की बात करें तो कर सकते हैं. But it should make some sense. So that is just one remark. Now we come to another very important concept, what we call as, this we will discuss again when we will be discussing about the regression part. There is a concept of what we call as the coefficient of determination. Now you know the concept of coefficient, and I have just told you. Now you can find out the value of r, and we will prove that r lies between -1 to +1. This is again a very, very classical result. Just below this I am going to prove it. But suppose if I just square the value of r, so that will always be positive. See, r square is always positive. Whether r is positive or negative doesn't matter, because there may be negative relationship, there may be positive relationship, there may be no relationship at the most. So if I have the value of r and if I square it, then there is another name. This is called coefficient of determination. What does it tell you? It indicates the extent to which the variation in one variable is explained by the variation in the other variable. This is the punchline. Again I repeat, x changes, y changes, because both of them are variable. But x changes, and how much the changes in x affect the changes in y. That is the most important idea behind studying the correlation. I have given you a simple example of height and weight chart. If you go to a health center or a hospital, it is there written that if these standard charts are there, say if your height is this, your weight must be this. It may not be that, but it may be above, below, whatever, but that is the standard chart of height and weight. That means if my height is this much, then weight is this much. Now the question is, if the height changes by 1 inches, how much my weight will change? That means the variation in one variable affecting the variation in the other variable. This is the beauty of the correlation coefficient. So this line I will again repeat. What it tells, it's very important. It indicates the extent to which the variation in one variable is explained by the variation in the other variable. Say for example, R is 0.9. It is supposed to be very high correlation. Then R square will be 0.81. That means what is the interpretation? As I told you, I'll be focusing more on interpretation part. That means it implies that 81% of the variation in Y is due to the variation in X. Now you will definitely ask, sir, what about remaining 19%? And always the correlation will not be 0.9. Hello, please mute. हेलो, आप में से किसी का, हाँ प्लीज म्यूट कर दीजिए. Okay, fine. So now I can explain. The remaining 19% may be due to some other factors. Now this is the actually beginning of the concept of regression, which is the next topic, unit 3. वो हम बाद में आपसे बात करेंगे. But it is very, very important in the real life that can we try to, or can we explain the variation in one variable, how variation in one variable is going to affect the variation in the other variable. Now it is not 100%. It is not 100% means, you know, that we are not going always just one variable affect completely the other variable. So your height is not only just affected by your weight, right? See, you know, as you grow, it is related with your age also. Remember, जब आप 5 साल के थे तो आपकी height क्या थी, right? And as you grow in your age, फिर आप 5 साल से 10 साल के हुए, 15 साल के. Of course, after certain age, your growth curve becomes flattened. But till then, your height also depends on your age also, na? So is it that your height depends only on age, or only on weight, or only on other genetic factors we are not considering? What is the height of your parents and so on and so forth? So there are many factors for the happening of certain thing. But at the first year level, we don't want to explore, or we don't want to open the Pandora's box. बहुत सारी चीजें एक साथ आपको नहीं बतानी है. The idea here is that we are just considering one variable and one variable. That's it. X and Y. Yes, in real life it can endless. As I told you, I want to predict that what will be the height of the Indian youth. जो इंडिया में जो बच्चे हैं, यंगस्टर्स हैं, उनकी हाइट क्या होगी आज से 5 साल के बाद, क्योंकि आप देख रहे हैं कि धीरे धीरे हाइट लोगों की कम हो रही है. So it is a matter of interest to know. So anyways, the endless possibilities. See, what I am telling here is that it is just in one variable. So one variable alone always is never sufficient, or is never complete, that okay, X changes. Okay, of course, literally I can say if R is say 1, so R square will also be 1. In that case, 100% variation in one, that means variation in X will be explained by the variation in Y, or vice versa. But it is never going to happen. Very, very impossible kind of situation. So fine, this is just out of interest, that this is known as coefficient of determination, and what is not explained is referred as the coefficient. ये आपके कोर्स में नहीं है, but this is just I am telling you as a passing remark. This is called coefficient of alienation. Because if you say, sir, I am studying statistics and I have studied correlation, and suppose somebody asks, what is alienation? You will say, no, I have not studied it. So nothing big or nothing great. It is just 1 minus R square, which is you have written here. 19% of the variation I cannot explain. So this is just 1 minus R square is referred to as the coefficient of alienation, and it gives the percentage of variation. Remember, not explained. So don't think that always you are going to explain the variability 100%. So this is just a fourth remark, sorry. An idea of
is there use of this 19%?
हाँ
सर ये 19% जो है उसका कोई यूज होगा?
हाँ नहीं, यूज इसलिए होगा, जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा, यूज इसलिए होगा कि अब आप ये जानना चाहते हैं, सपोज यू गो फ्रॉम बाईवेरिएट टू ट्राईवेरिएट, that means you include one more variable into your study, suppose your age, height, weight. Now this is a trivariate data, so I want to know that, sir, what is the effect of से द थर्ड वेरिएबल, एज का कोई हाइट पर लेना देना है, जिस इसीलिए आपको मैंने एग्जांपल दिया कि अगर बाइवेरिएट होता तो आप क्या करते, एज और हाइट का कर्व बनाते। तो जैसे जैसे आपकी एज बढ़ती है वैसे वैसे आपकी हाइट बढ़ती है, लेकिन एक लेवल पे जाकर के वो स्थिर हो जाती है, स्टेबल कर जाता है वो, राइट। तो इन दैट केस ये जो 19% है, दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव रिटन, मे बी ड्यू टू सम अदर फैक्टर्स। नाउ व्हाट आर दोज अदर फैक्टर्स, that remains to see. Because of the limitation of the bivariate data, I am not including the other factor here.
Okay.
And this is just an example. R.9 getting, you should be very, very happy. Almost 81% of the variation is not a joke. If I know that what is, suppose consider the demand and supply example, that how much is that supply and how much should be the demand. I mean, what is, if the demand is this much, what should be my supply? So if the relationship between demand and supply is very large, then we should more supply more item whatever you are going to purchase. Otherwise, there is a common understanding. If you go to Kadak Bazaar, if you go to any vegetable market, and suddenly you see that your tomato has gone from 20 rupees to 100 rupees, then what the vendor says, Padra mathi sabji nathi aayi. That means there is no supply and demand remains the same. Therefore, the price go up. But then you are including the third variable, price. So demand, price and supply data becomes trivariate, right? Don't worry. This is your beginning, first year, first semester. Just like baby steps. You cannot go for a long jump immediately. You know? So we'll keep on discussing, but it's good that you asked that, sir, what about this? इसका क्या करेंगे हम? इस 19% का हम क्या करें? यही तो, जैसे मैंने कहा आपको, this is the beginning of some other thing, beginning of another story. We'll discuss. Don't worry. Is that okay? Little bit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the point is, this is referred to as the coefficient, and this gives the percentage of variation not explained as she asked, and actually this is the beginning point of your further analysis. Okay, so with this remark, this is the fourth one. Let me come here to the fifth one, which is very interesting. Limits of correlation. Very, very interesting and very important. Till your exams come, it is 100% question in your exam that prove that the correlation coefficient lies between -1 to +1. पक्का ये सवाल आता ही है।
आप क्या बोले, आवाज नहीं आ रही थी।
हेलो, मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही है?
नहीं
सर
सर,
आपकी आवाज बीच में कट रही है।
अच्छा रुको एक मिनट। हाँ, कट रही है, ऐसा क्यों? मैं फिर से कनेक्शन चेक करता हूँ। माई स्पीकर इज ऑन फुल। हेलो,
अभी सही है सर।
सही
सर
है
अभी
सर।
आ रही है।
अच्छा अभी आ रही है। ओके, मैं थोड़ा माइक से पीछे गया। ओके ओके, मैं थोड़ा
आपने
दूर,
कुछ कहा बीच में, वो सुनाई नहीं दिया।
मैं फिर से बोलता हूँ, चिंता मत करो। मैं ये कह रहा, यहाँ तक सुनाई दिया आपको जब when I was telling you that 1 minus r square, actually I am sitting in my lobby and there is lot of traffic going on. Hello,
सर फिफ्थ से चालू करना है, फिफ्थ पॉइंट से नहीं सुनाई दे रहा था।
अच्छा फिफ्थ से, ठीक है। ओके, गुड गुड गुड। See what I am going to tell you now, the fifth point is the limits of correlation coefficient. Now whenever, say for example you have studied probability and आपको बताया गया होगा कि probability lies between 0 and 1, पढ़ा कि नहीं आपने?
यस
हाँ
सर।
सर पढ़ा है।
क्यों क्यों
Yes,
0
sir.
से 1 के बीच में आती है? कैन यू प्रूव इट दैट प्रोबेबिलिटी लाइज बिटवीन 0 to 1? Right? That is what you have studied. So I am not going to waste my time there. What is the limit of certain things, certain coefficients? Whenever you talk, probability is also a coefficient, number of favorable event divided by the total number of events, like kind of a thing. So similarly, what I was telling, that limits of correlation is a very very important concept, and whether it is offline or online exam, ये क्वेश्चन पक्का एग्जाम में आता ही है, किसी भी शक्ल में या किसी भी फॉर्म में। And we are going to prove, अरे यार, we are going to prove that what are the limits of correlation. That is what I was telling. So anyways, because we are going to prove it, just wait for 2-3 minutes that we are going to get it. So how we are going to derive the limits of correlation? By definition, what is the correlation? अभी आपने ऊपर देखा, it is covariance between x and y divided by variance of x and variance of y. Okay. व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला? ये भी आपने देखा, 1/n summation I is equal to 1 to n xi minus x bar and all this formula. So suppose now this whole formula I am writing in some other notation, and suppose I put xy means this is the correlation between x and y, and if I can write y and x also, because it hardly changes. Y will become here and x will become here, y will become here and x will become here, and that is why it is very important property that correlation is a symmetric measure, because whether it is rxy or whether it is ryx, mathematically it is the same formula. So if it is so, and if I square it, suppose दोनों तरफ आप इसको स्क्वायर कर दीजिए, and of course 1/n तो हर जगह कैंसिल ही हो जाता है. If I square this quantity, and let us suppose write this is some quantity summation ai bi whole square. Square करोगे तो स्क्वायर रूट गायब हो जाएगा. It will be simply summation ai square summation bi square. How do you write, sir? Just for a moment you assume that ai is xi minus x bar and bi is yi minus y bar. Put it here again. You will get back this. Is it okay? R square xy ये आपको समझ में आया कैसे लिखा मैंने? Is this step okay from here to here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. So this is just, I'm not doing anything, I'm just making a substitution kind of a thing. Now there is one inequality which was given by a person whose name is Shepard's, right? So we are not going to prove, we are going to use. In mathematics also you must have seen that we are using certain results directly. We are not proving them because it was already proved somewhere. So Shepard's inequality, what it says, Shepard's inequality states that if ai bi I is equal to 1 to n are some real quantities, real may be from minus infinity to plus infinity, then what is the statement of the inequality? It simply says that summation ai bi square is less than or equal to summation ai square into summation bi square. Obvious question may be there in your mind, sir, if it is less than or equal to, तो ये equal to कब होगा? It is said that equality holding, ये साइन पढ़ा है आपने? I double F पढ़ा है ना इसको कभी या कि नहीं पढ़ा? ये मिसप्रिंट नहीं है, if नहीं है, if है. जिसका मतलब होता है if and only if. इसका मतलब होता है implies and implied by, right? Mathematics में आता है. So when the equality will hold, sir, when these ratios are same, a1 upon b1 is equal to a2 upon b2, तब ये जो inequality है less than or equal to की जगह सिर्फ equal to हो जाएगी. So up to this point, nothing. We have just stated the Shepard's inequality, which says like this, and now I am going to just use it here. That's it. Same कहानी. If it is less than this, that means simply ये numerator है, ये denominator है. So obviously ये जो r square xy होगा, that will be simply less than or equal to 1. That is what I am saying. That is r square xy is less than or equal to 1. That means, sorry, if I take this absolute value, that means if I take the square root on both the sides, then absolute value of course rxy will be less than or equal to minus.
सर वापस आवाज नहीं आई थी, क्या बोला?
हेलो
आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
आवाज
हेलो
अभी आ रही है।
ओके ओके मैं समझ गया, मुझे माइक से दूर नहीं जाना है इसका मतलब। हाँ मैं यहाँ से शुरू करता हूँ, शेवर्ड्स इनइक्वालिटी से वापस शुरू करता हूँ। यहाँ से सुनाई दे रहा था शेवर्ड्स इनइक्वालिटी?
हाँ सर, वो आपने x square r square xy से नहीं सुना।
हाँ ओके गुड गुड. So what I am saying, suppose if I am just using this inequality here, so what will happen if a square bi ai bi square is less than or equal to a square b square? That means this ratio just becomes 1, right? So this will be r square xy is less than or equal to 1. That means what? If I take the square root on both the sides, this will become square root of 1, or I can say from here, sorry, that absolute and if
सर वापस
hello
आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
क्या
अब आ रही है
प्रॉब्लम है
मेरे।
यार? आई एम वेरी क्लोज टू द माइक नाउ.
आ रही है सर आवाज?
सर अब आ रही है।
आवाज आ रही है सर।
हाँ हाँ
हाँ सर आवाज आ रही है।
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. वो आप किसी किसी के हो सकता है नेट में कोई प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. तो फिर से एक बार, अंतिम बार, rx square xy is less than or equal to 1, absolute value if I take, this will be rxy is less than or equal to 1. It implies that rxy lies between -1 to +1. That is just a mathematical equation or a mathematical understanding. And that is what actually limits of correlation when we want to prove it is true for any data set. Because here I have not taken any xy, here we have taken just xy in general, and we have proved that using this Shepard's inequality that rxy lies between -1 to +1. Right? Am I audible now?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay, good.
Yes sir.
So just 1 minute more. So if I get this, then of course -1 to +1, that means in between there will be 0 also. But as you know that rxy is equal to 0 means the correlation is not there. But as a special case, I can talk about the extreme values. What are the extreme values? rxy is suppose +1. That means you are here. Plus means positive, and therefore we say that, and if it is 1, that is called perfect relation. Perfect means जैसे अभी ऊपर किसी ने पूछा था सर कि बाकी 19% का क्या होगा. So you are not explaining 100%. 100% का मतलब perfect relation means if x changes by 1 unit, y also changes by 1 unit. That is called perfect relation. So this is just for academic interest that if rxy is +1, because of the plus sign, it is positive correlation. And if rxy is -1, it is negative because of the minus sign. But because of 1 and 1, rarely you will get in real life. But theoretically, we can always, or of course, sometimes you may get it, but that is very rare. So in that case, what is the interpretation? If rxy is +1, we say that they are perfectly positively correlated. If rxy is -1, then we are saying that x and y are perfectly negatively correlated. That means perfect positive correlation, perfect negative correlation. And as I just mentioned, if I just interchange x with y, I will get rxy is equal to ryx. And this is the idea of symmetry. This is what we have also discussed many times. If f of xy is say f of yx, then it is said to be symmetric. And in that sense, correlation coefficient is said to be a symmetric measure. So we have studied the limits of correlation. This is going to be very, very useful. And again, I will repeat that this is a very important concept in the study of correlation. Many times it is asked that, of course, we will not have, I don't know, as I was telling you when my voice was not very clear, that if it is an offline exam, this is a very common question. To prove that the limits of correlation is from -1 to +1. Very common question. And proof, if you see, is just 2 lines. Not very difficult. Right? So anyways, almost my time is getting over here. So I would like just wait for a moment so that I can download your attendance. And then we shall meet again tomorrow. But before I sign off for today, any question on today's lecture?
No, sir.
No sir.
Okay,
No,
then.
sir.
No sir.
Okay, okay. So see you tomorrow. हाँ जी, कोई कुछ बोल रहा है?
नो सर वही कह रहे हैं।
अच्छा अच्छा, okay, okay. No problem, no problem. Okay then, see you tomorrow. I'm leaving.
Thank you, sir.
Okay sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Bye-bye. Yes.